my birthday is in July, and I might have bought a bunch of books, gotten a few books as presents, so now I have like a big book haul. Hi everyone, it's me, Shelby from Shelby's Crafty Books and Games, and today we're doing a birthday book haul. So, I did a little kind of book haul as a short on YouTube Shorts, but then me and my sister had a big day together and went out and went shopping, and I was able to convince her to go and do a couple of bookstores as like a belated birthday thing, and she didn't buy any of those. I bought them, but at least I got to go to some bookstores. And there are 2 books in this that she actually bought me as a birthday present, and we're gonna go over those as well. So let's get started. First, to get this one out of the way, this is the Throne of Glass coloring book. I've been looking for this for a while since I started those books. I'm on Arrow Fire, but I'm kind of taking a break from the books right now and reading something else, but I'm hoping to jump back in. But ever since I started, I've been really wanting to get the coloring book of it, and I'm probably going to do a video of this soon where I like recolor one of the pages in it, so look out. A book I found over at Walmart. I've been meaning to get this book for a while now, and I don't know why I took so long to get it, but that is one of the newest Twisted Tales, and that is Sally's Lament, and that is What If Sally Discovered Christmastown. So this is the summary of it. Sally loves her creepy home of Halloween Town, but lately she can't help wanting something more. In a place full of things frightening, one would think living in the shadows wouldn't be so isolating. Stuck in a lab of her creator, Dr. Frankenstein, Sally is restless, feeling like nothing more than a glorified servant. She knows she can do so much more, but Dr. Frankenstein just won't listen. So when Sally sneaks out of the graveyard, she finds that Jack, the Pumpkin King, is having his own doubts about life in Halloween Town. Determined to find a solution for both of them, Sally follows a new vision that could be the key to changing their fates. Soon Sally uncovers a strange new land where everything is red and green. The ground is covered in ice, and the citizens are downright jolly. Could this be the change she and Jack have been looking for? But the more time Sally spends there, the more suspicious she grows about Christmastown. Cheer and isn't as genuine as it first seems. What does it truly mean to be put in the naughty list? What is lurking behind those dancing sugar plums? And will Sally be able to save the best of both towns before it's too late? I'm not too big of a fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, I watch it, but it's not one of my like top 3 Disney movies, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. So, but Sally from the movie is my favorite character out of all of them, so I'm really interested to read this and see how the story is changed up. Next is a book I was really excited for. I've been anticipating this one since last year when it was announced by the author, and that is A Forgery of Fate, and the summary is this. Tyrence doesn't choose to become a con artist, but after her father is lost at sea, it's up to her to support her mother and 2 younger sisters. A gifted art forger, Turu has the unique ability to paint the future, but even such magic is not enough to put her family back together again, or stave off the gangsters demanding payment in blood for her mother's gambling debts. Left with few options, Turu agrees to a marriage contract with a mysterious dragon lord. He offers a fresh start to her mother and sisters and elusive answers about her father's disappearance, but in exchange she must join him in his desolate undersea palace and paint a future so treacherous it could end both the mortal and immortal realms. So I'm a huge fan of Elizabeth Lim's books. I found out about her through the Disney Twisted Tales series because her book Reflection, which is a Mulan Twisted Tale, is probably my favorite out of the series. So I've been slowly reading her books, and when I found out she was doing her own version of Beauty and the Beast, which is my all-time favorite fairy tale, I had to pick it up. I have been really excited for this since she announced it on her Instagram all the way back in early 2024. So I can't wait to do this. Next is another book I picked up from Walmart. and I picked it up because I saw it going around on TikTok, on Book Talk, and it sounded interesting. And there is one thing about it, I'll get into in a minute, that I had no idea about when I picked it up. But let's get to it, and that is Rose in Chains, and the summary is: the prophecy lied. They were supposed to win this war. Instead, Bryony Wood watches, shattered and grief-stricken. As her brother is killed, her kingdom falls, and her home is overrun by enemies. Now Evermore is no more, and Bryony is sold in an auction, prized only for her remarkable magic. But defeat isn't nearly as agonizing as being sold to Tovin, the powerful and devious Hart's family, because Bryony knows Tovin all too well from his merciless taunting through school. Now he's grown into a man Bryony cannot ignore, the silver-haired and impossibly unfairly beautiful. And where Tovin is most definitely her enemy, he's something else too, something unexpected. But in a world where magic can instantly crush a human heart and even thoughts can be stolen, there can be no such thing as love. Not for Bryony. A secret rebellion is brewing, and she needs to find a way to escape her cage and join in. Yet despite the horrors of her new world and the role she must learn to play within it, all is not lost. Help and hope may yet arise from the most unlikely of places. So I picked this up because the cover is gorgeous. Look at it. And also pretty sprayed edges. But a little later, when I was on YouTube, I found out that this used to be like a Harry Potter fan fiction, and it has been changed so it could be its own thing. Did not know that. I mean, I'm still gonna read it because it sounds really interesting. It was just like, wow, I did not see that coming out of like everything that was going on this week. So yeah, the crazy things you find out. And then during the, I think 8th through like the 11th or something, Amazon was having their big Prime sale, and I found a couple books that were really cheap on there, and this is one of them. So I got it, and that is The Warren and Hawley Library, and this is the summary. Can you love the dark when you know what hides in it? Some things aren't supposed to exist outside of our imagination. 13 years ago, monsters emerged from the shadows and plunged Carice's world into a climactic war of near total destruction. New York City, she knew so well, collapsed practically overnight. In the wake of that carnage, the monster treaty was created, a truce of sorts. But tonight, Carice, a gifted and fearless thief, will break that treaty. She enters the Hawley Library, not knowing it's the home of a monster. He's charming, quietly alluring, terrifying, but he knows talent when he sees it, and it's just a matter of finding her price. Now she's locked into a dangerous bargain with a creature unlike any other. She sacrificed her freedom. She'll offer her skills. Together they'll put her own futures at risk. But he's been playing a game across centuries, and once she joins in, there will be no escape. So it was like half off on the Amazon Prime Day sale, so I picked it up, and it looks really pretty. Like, look at these spray edges. And then while I was reading the summary, I just realized, look at that! Oh my gosh! I didn't notice that until I opened it up. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. This is on my TBR. Don't know when I'll get to it, but it looks really interesting. And also, I believe the sequel is out, so... And the other book I got on that Prime Day sale was Enchantra. This is book 2 in the Phantasma series, and the summary is: when Guinevere Grimm's mother dies, she's left with questions that no one can answer, until she receives an invitation to Enchantria, a cursed palace in Italy, frozen in time. Though denied interest by the simply handsome yet hostile Rowan Silver, Guinevere finds her way in, and soon realizes her mistake. For Enchantria is a twisted labyrinth where Rowan and his 6 siblings are trapped in a deadly game, and at mercy of a twisted devil and his ghastly spectators. Only one occupant of the house can survive. Guinevere now must win or die. Rowan warns her that he's the deadliest of the Silvers, that he always wins, and that her only chance is to compete as his wife. So they must convince their audience that they're desperately in love. And while Guinevere's willing to do whatever it takes to survive, she also knows she can't trust Rowan, and desire burning between them is a lie. After all, it was Rowan who taught her Enchantress's first rule. Never, ever trust your heart. So I did have the first book, and I haven't read it yet, but I hope to soon. And it was super cheap on the Amazon Prime sale, so I thought, why not? And I picked it up, and I hope to get to this sometime. Then like the day after my birthday, I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and I kind of got some books for myself that day. It was 3 books, and this is one of them. And it is Embrace the Serpent. Can you see that? My remembering right's making it hard to see some of these books. But here's the summary. The Serpent King is the most eligible bachelor in the land, a monster with dark and terrible magic, and the ruler of the last free kingdom. Riches and power await his future bride, but also a life forever trapped in the games of court. The fate is 18-year-old Seraphina's worst nightmare. Ever since the Empire made her an orphan, she's found freedom in being invisible. So despite her rare gift for harnessing the magic in gemstones, she lets an unscrupulous jewelsmith take credit for her increasingly sought-after work. But when the king sends his most clever huntsman to find the best jewelsmith of them all, the spotlight lands on Serapha. Faced with choosing between falling in the Emperor's grasp or marrying a monster, she chooses the latter, even if it means getting increasingly caught between her cold, serpentine husband and his cunning, handsome huntsman. So yes, it was another one of those books I heard about on Book Talk, and I was like, that sounds interesting, and I saw it at the bookstore, and I picked it up, and I'm hoping to get to this one soon as well. I really like the idea of the character being really good at making like jewelry and stuff, so I wonder how that's going to play into it. The other book I got along with that was 28 Days, and as you can see, it was on the bargain bin table. I love that table. I love going over there and looking, and here is the summary for this one. Warshaw, 1942. 16-year-old Mara smuggles food into the Warsaw ghetto to keep herself and her family alive. When she discovers that the entire ghetto is to be liquidated or resettled to concentration camps, she desperately tries to find a way to save her family. She meets a group of young people who are planning the unthinkable, an uprising against the occupying forces. Mira joins the resistance fighters who, with minimal supplies and weapons, end up holding out longer against the SS than anyone ever thought. Much longer, for 28 days. During that time, Mira has to decide where her heart belongs. To Amos, who wants to take out as many enemies as he can with him to the grave, or Daniel, who wants to help the orphans in the shelter. There are 28 days for which Mira experiences moments of great humanity, betrayal, suffering, and even moments of happiness. A couple months ago, I read the book Resistance, which was another historical fiction set around the Warsaw Ghetto. It was really powerful, and I really loved it when I read it. And so when I saw this on the bargaining table, I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I want to read more historical fiction around that time. It sounds good until you get to the thing about the love triangle, so hopefully that doesn't take over too much, but we will see. And then here's the last book I found with those 3 that I got when I was at the bookstore after my appointment, and that is Behooved. And it just sounded really interesting, so I picked it up. And look, pretty pink spray edges! Yay! But, so here's the summary. Bianca knows her duty comes before her heart, so when the threat of war looms, she agrees to marry the neighboring kingdom's heir. But not all royal weddings are fairy tale, and Prince Arik, Bianca's betrothed, is cold, aloof, seems to hit her on sight. To make matters worse, on their wedding night, an assassination attempt goes awry, leaving Arik magically transformed into a horse. Bianca does what any bride in this situation would do. She mounts her new husband and rides away to safety. Sunset returns and Arik is to human form, but they soon discover the assassination attempt was part of a large plot against the throne. Worse, Bianca has been framed for Alik's murder, and she's now saddled with a husband who is a hearse by day and a frustrated, attractive man by night. An unexpected romance begins to galloping away through their hearts. Bianca and Arik must rely on each other to unravel the curse and save the throne. So that sounded like a fun romantic read, so I thought I'd pick it up, and I'm excited to get to this. Andromeda, I gotta film. I can't film if you're sitting in my seat. You're so cute. Yeah. You gonna get comfier? You're so cute. Look at you. Yeah.